Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday there was fireworks in Bomas because the Cherera were invited to give their opinion on what happened just before the pronouncement of the last presidential election. And some of them did not have kind words for the former IEBC chairman of Chebukati. They said that he subverted the will of the people. He was a bully during the process of tallying and verification of the results. Cherera, Juliana, and Irene Masit, hiding in an alien nation, having abandoned, not abandoned, but have just run away from their families because someone wanted them dead, narrated painfully the chilling stories after William Ruto was sworn in, and the kangaroo committee that was placed to investigate their conduct, sitting with a predetermined verdict that they were all wrong. And they said that they might not just come back any soon. And what came out yesterday was that the last election was never free and fair. Now today, William Ruto took an opportunity to answer to Cherera 4, the dissenting commissioners who disagreed with the presidential result declaration. He also took that moment to answer Raila Odinga. And I listened to him, and you will agree with me that William Ruto, just like the whole of the Kenya Kwanza brigade does not believe in scrutinizing the last election. Just like Rigiji had said, it's something they believe is a done deal. Just take a look.
Three things. Na nasema hivyo kwa sababu katika ukumbi huu ndio nilitangazwa nikawa rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Na katika ule uchaguzi ambayo tumewaambia Wakenya shukrani nyingi, na tumekubaliana ya kwamba tutasonga mbele tukiwa pamoja. Katika huo uchaguzi ulikuwa na uchaguzi wa maana sana, na ulikuwa na uchaguzi wa kipekee, aina ya kipekee katika taifa letu la Kenya, kwa sababu ilikuwa ni uchaguzi wa Kenya walizungumza in an equivocal manner. The people of Kenya spoke in the last election, and they said they wanted an election that is free of ethnicity. The people of Kenya, secondly, said they wanted an election that is free of violence. And number three, they said they wanted an election that is determined by the people in a democratic manner. Haya ndio mambo matatu ambayo yalitokea ama yalidhihirika kwa uchaguzi uliofanyika. Jambo la kwanza, wananchi wenyewe waliamua ya kwamba hawataki tena siasa ya Kenya iwe ni siasa inaendeshwa kwa misingi ya ukabila. Ndio sababu mimi nilichaguliwa na watu wa jamii zote katika taifa letu la Kenya. Watu walionipigia kura wa jamii zingine wanazidi wale walionipigia kura wa kutoka jamii yangu. Hiyo ndio statement ya watu wa Kenya. Na Wakenya walisema wamechoka na siasa ya ukabila, wanataka siasa ya sera. Na ndio walichagua kwa sababu ya sera yetu, sio kwa sababu ya kabila ambazo tunatoka. Mnajua wale tulikuwa tunashindana na wao wakati huo walikuwa wanatuambia ya kwamba hatuwezi kushinda kwa sababu jamii hii na jamii hii na jamii ile itaungana. Lakini Wakenya waliungana na wakashinda ukabila. Jambo la pili, Wakenya waliamua ya kwamba tutakuwa na uchaguzi wa amani, na ndio sababu hiyo hata mbali na yale mambo yaliyotokea katika ukumbi huu, fujo ililetwa hapa, kisirani ililetwa hapa, lakini Wakenya na IEBC walisimama mahali ya ukweli na uchaguzi ukatangazwa ukawa ni wa huru na haki. Pale IEBC walituweka mahali pazuri sana, kwa sababu for the first time we had a public portal where any Kenyan could follow the elections from the comfort of their homes. It was not possible to change the results of that election. Na jambo la tatu, Wakenya waliamua wao ndio kusema. Tuliambiwa ya kwamba kuna kitu inaitwa system, tukaambiwa kuna ingine inaitwa deep state. Si tuliambiwa hiyo maneno yote? Lakini Wakenya ni nani? Si Wakenya ndio walikuwa wakusema? Tulishinda deep state, tukashinda system, tukashinda ile ingine sijui nini, at machinery, hiyo yote. So katika hiyo uchaguzi, the people of Kenya spoke loudly that it is them who decide the leadership of their country. It is not the system, it is not the deep state. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Na ndio tumesimama katika ukumbi huu leo ili Wakenya wajue ya kwamba yale mambo walituambia tulisikia. We heard the people of Kenya loudly that they do not want politics based on ethnicity, that they want a peaceful country, and that they want a democratic country. And that is why we are sitting here as UDA today.
Ladies and gentlemen, having listened to William Samoei Ruto, you will agree with me that he is the one who instructed the former IEBC chair not to go to Bomas, because Wafula Chebukati, together with the Boya Mulu and the other commissioner, decided that they were not going to give any views in Bomas because, according to them, the elections were done with. They declared William Ruto president, then it went to the court, and the Supreme Court upheld that verdict. William Ruto says the following, if you listen to him, that Kenyans spoke unequivocally and said that they wanted a peaceful election. That is very true. Kenya has always been a very peaceful nation until the powers that be provokes innocent people. And he says that he was voted in a democratic manner and Kenyans did not want to vote on tribal lines. That is laughable. Now, the one that caught my attention is the fact that he's saying there was a public portal and no one could change the result in that portal. That begs the million-dollar question. William Ruto is never employed by the IEBC. The last time I checked, he was only declared by the IEBC. But he cannot now act as if he is a chairman of the CEO. If he is very sure, or if he was very sure that the result at the portal and the server could have never been changed by any person, why could he allow Kenyans to verify, to scrutinize, to have experts to conduct a forensic audit to the server? Because you've heard him confessing. He's so much convicted and convinced that the results that are in the portal could have not been changed. And so I want to believe even in the server. Why couldn't he allow Kenyans who are only but demanding to know who won? Because it is not enough to tell us that it was dealt with by the IEBC, that the matter was dealt with by the Supreme Court, because that is where the problem lies. We have a dishonest institutions, the IEBC and the Supreme Court, so much that the only thing that we could have trusted before the Jose Camargo could have maybe come and interfered with the server was to open it, scrutinize it. Let's have an audit. To me, he was only reacting because he was exposed. Because yesterday, the events revived the painful memories of a year ago. There are people who have not healed to date. And every time we look at the events, we look back, we see Wafula Chebukati, we see Madam Martha Koome, we see Madam Meg Whitman. Those are three people who really were at the center of everything that happened before, during, and after our elections. Our president says that they want to build a democratic country. What is democracy, ladies and gentlemen? If he believes in democracy, I will still ask the same question I have always asked. If you believe that you are a democratic leader, people are asking a question. They are going to the streets to demonstrate because it is there as their democratic right. Why do you unleash the police to kill them? Do you know we have children who are now orphans? They don't have a father or a mother because either of them was killed during the demonstrations. We have mothers who have lost a child. We saw how the police were retrieving bodies or people from their homes in Kisumu and killing them by a leader who is telling us that he is democratic. Why don't you allow people to exercise their democratic rights? Because it is in the constitution that the police should provide security both to the people who are on demonstration and the people who just want to go about their businesses, so that we judge that on such a date people who are demonstrating were given security and we saw the others who are going around their businesses, because that is the democracy. We cannot allow, you can't force those who don't want to go for demonstrations to join you. Those who don't want to go for demonstrations cannot force you to join them. But the police should be very neutral. In fact, their motto is utumishi kwa wote, but in this sense ni utumishi kwa ule executive wetu. So I want to say very categorically that there is no democracy. He tells us that Kenyans wanted to shun politics of tribalism. Tribalism is being exercised by this regime because even in their appointments, they appoint two tribes. The lion's share will always go to the two tribes. In fact, Rigiji, the truthful man, reiterated his sentiments that this regime is a regime of shareholders. And he told them that those who are gathered at the Bomas of Kenya are the true and major shareholders. He does not regret, because the other time I saw Osoro, who is the majority, is it the chief whip? I don't know. He's got some position at the UDA, telling off Rigiji to shun this politics of shareholders. But he reiterated it and he repeated it. We cannot be convinced or persuaded that this is a government that is devoid of tribalism, because they practice it the way they distribute their national cake, their appointments, their resources, and so there is nothing like a government that is free of tribalism. I know the leadership is bitter, and they wanted that opportunity to sanitize Wafula Chebukati. Our leader said that he remembers the events. Some people wanted to create chaos in Bomas, and I think he was referring to the moment when Ledamo Lekina was pushed and there was a little altercation there. I still want to ask just one question. He promised Kenyans that he wanted that he would create a committee to investigate really what happened, who wanted to kill Chebukati, but that was all he said. And he keeps on repeating that some people wanted chaos. Yet we know that no one wanted chaos. People just wanted things to be done in a democratic manner. And so, ladies and gentlemen, you know, all this drama could have been cured by just one thing. the remedy, and I still believe the only remedy, is that server. That is the only antidote to what is ailing us. If it is opened, then we will know, because I believe someone was telling me that IT gurus will always know if you changed anything in the server during the forensic audit. So taking a moment to read a riot act to Raila Odinga, to read a riot act to Cherera, cannot help. And then what does it portend to the ongoing talks? Because all this happened at Bomas, and you saw how people like Cecil Mbarire were very, very mad at the Cherera 14 when they gave an account of really what happened, something that they describe as opaque towards the tail end of pronouncing the presidential results. And if you saw the body language and the countenance, they are very mad people ready to protect their victory. But they know, because when you look at them, they know what happened. The day you will open that server and it is audited by, independent ICT guys, we will be satisfied. As per now, and all this, the theatrics that we're doing will not help. I want to end by saying the following. I want to echo William Ruto himself. He told us, kuna upungufu wa wajinga Kenya. We have a shortage of imbeciles in the country. And you know what that means.